Welcome everybody. Tonight we got a great showing for you guys tonight. We are going road racing with the Nexus Sim Racing Leagues here at Indy Road Course with the GT3 cars. What a great night this is going to be. But first off, I've got some friends here tonight. Jay, how you doing, man?
I'm excited, man. This has been long awaited. GT3's here in Indianapolis, man. This is going to be exciting. Formula Touring. We're kicking it off. Season 1 here. Best iRacers in the business.
Absolutely, they are, and they are going to prove it again tonight. If you guys didn't catch our last race, my goodness, did you miss a good one. Right now, we've got a very close field, and we got just about 12 minutes left in practice. We've got lots of cool things to start showing you guys. First off, let's go right into our race info. We'll get you guys all caught up on what's going on tonight and giving you guys a good outlook on what's going on. So tonight, we are at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway with the GT3 cars. This is a track length of 2.39 miles. Got a track temperature of 97 degrees. Ambient is 77, 58% humidity, cloudy skies, and a 9-mile-an-hour wind. We got 14 turns on this bad boy right here. 9 degrees of banking off of turn 11. 0 degrees of banking down the straights. So we're going to be seeing some possible passing opportunities and lots of other I don't know. I feel like we're going to be seeing some crazy passes happening on track. We've seen it not only with the NASCAR series, we've seen it with IMSA, Super Trofeo, the TCR series. These guys in real life just kind of go for it. You know, turn 1's going to be a big stir up tonight. Turn 2, turn 7, turn 12. I mean, all of that. It's just going to set up a lot of good stuff, good racing tonight. So we're very excited about that. Right now, we've got a couple of cars on track. We're going to be showing you guys some of the manufacturers. We're going to do that, though, and we're going to turn off our cams. We're going to go straight into the race. Manufacturers here right now. Listed on the right-hand side, you can see the different manufacturers that you will be seeing tonight. Number 1, we've got the BMW gang. They'll be rocking an inline-6 turbocharged with 590 horsepower. Obviously, BMW out of Germany. See how good they can do tonight. We've got some Ferraris out in the field right now as represented, like on the screen. It'll be one of your drivers, Nicholas Pressey, rocking the 296 GT3 turbocharged V6 motor, 600 horsepower. We've got some Lamborghinis on track, too, like Rob Collier. He'll be racing that car tonight. It is a Huracan GT3 turbocharged V10. It's got 500 horsepower. We've got Zohar Kabani. He'll be racing the Mercedes AMG GT3 naturally aspirated V8. And might I add, probably the best sounding car on track. That is a naturally aspirated V8, 550 horsepower, and then we'll round it out with the Porsches. This is James Pierce right here. James Pierce is rocking this Porsche. It's a 911 992 GT3 turbocharged, flat 6, 565 horsepower. Those are the different types of manufacturers you'll be seeing tonight with all the action that will be happening on track. Now, Jay, we've seen this track multiple times, racing in real life. This is our opportunity to broadcast a race like this, our first time on Indy Road. But what can we expect with these drivers, with this competition, as James Pierce now goes P1? What can we expect these guys doing on the passing zones, on the different types of track surfaces, the banking, the just everything?
Yeah, this is a very technical track. A lot of fast sections in this track with some good passing zones. We'll see turn 1 at the initial start of this race. It's going to be survival. Can we get through turn 1 cleanly as they're all bunched up? Get through turn 1. You got a real technical section there through turns 2 and 3 that leads into the chicane there, 5 and 6, the double back chicane. Down the long straightaway, heading towards turn 7, which is probably your best passing zone in the entire track. We're going to see a lot of overtakes there. Real technical sections through 8, 9, 10, off of turn 11, we get into the banking of the track, into oval turn number 2. in the normal oval that we see for like the Indianapolis 500 Brickyard 400, down into turn 12, another technical section into 13, which is going to be another great passing zone, which will set you up to go back down the long front straightaway, back towards turn 1, and we'll do it all again. 45 minutes on deck here tonight, at least a minimum of 1 pit stop required. Strategy will be a factor, pace will be a factor, and these are the best iRacers in the business stacked field here tonight at Indianapolis.
Absolutely. A lot of information for you guys right there, but it's going to mean something during this race. A little bit of education can go a long ways, especially when we're trying to talk about what's happening in the race. You guys can follow along with us, try to understand the different strategies that we might see. Now, Jay, this is a 45-minute race. These guys have to make 1 pit stop. That pit stop is going to mean a lot if the tires mean a lot. But not only that, it's going to mean a lot because of fuel load. The weight transfer that we see in the middle of these corners, and obviously less fuel means quicker acceleration. You have less weight. So it's going to mean a lot on the undercut. Who is going to do it first? Is it going to be our leaders coming in first? Is it going to be 4th place? We'll see. These guys, again, super competitive. We're seeing only a half a second between 1st and 5th, and then even on down there, I mean, it's super close. And really, these guys should be running some qualifying times right now, so maybe a little bit skewed on what we could be seeing in the race. The race pace is obviously a lot different than your qualifying pace. With that being said, though, we just hit the 53-minute mark out of the 55. We'll be going into qualifying here pretty soon. These guys are in for one heck of a surprise tonight. I think we're going to be seeing some great on-track racing. Turns 1 is definitely going to be a turn that we're going to have to look into, especially on the start, on the undercut, on these pit stops. And anytime we see a good passing opportunity by these guys, they're going to take advantage of turn 1. I think another corner that we should be looking into is turn 3. That'll be a great corner to look into. Turn 7 right here as you're going down the back straightaway. That's going to be a great opportunity to make a pass. And then we'll go into a little bit of chicanes here. Turns 8, 9, 10, and 11. So you can see James Pierce working his way through those corners. And then turn 12 is also going to be another great passing opportunity for these drivers to dive bomb it in there and try to make a move happen. We'll watch James Pierce continue to work these corners over. He showed up just a little bit late. He's getting in some laps. He's about to complete his 5th lap. And already P1 on the board. I'll also introduce a little segment that we've been looking at here for the past little bit. This is our full throttle segment. You guys will be watching us run this full throttle segment throughout the race. And it'll give you a great idea of what the sounds are like during the race. Now we're going into qualifying. We'll see what these guys can do. We will be right back with you guys here in a second. We're going to be preparing for this broadcast. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. This is James Pierce searching for that pole right now. We're doing single car qualifying attempts, but right now, James Pierce in that one car in the Porsche, 8.5 tenths faster than Greg Schall in the 45.
As we currently see our top 5 here, all within 1 second of a gap between each other on time. Really flying right now, as we saw Travis Smith there jump to the P3 spot just a moment ago.
See what James can do here, coming across the start-finish line. See if he can best that 24.9. And he does! He goes 24.7.
Rocket ship. Watch out for that Porsche.
Wow. He's a second quicker than second place right now. Michael Costello just crossed start-finish line. Zahar Kabani ups the ante a little bit, 0.8. Slower than James Pierce in that Mercedes, the only Mercedes out there tonight. Doing a great job with that car. We'll go on board right now with Rob Collier. He is the highest placing Lamborghini at the moment, as he goes just a little bit quicker that time by. He is now P7 going into turn 1. See what he can do. You can see him working those curves, taking up as much track space as he can to try and get that momentum through the corner of that last chicane going down the back straightaway. Now going into turn 7. We'll see if he can make up some time in that braking zone. He gets in there real deep. And coming through the chicanes now. Rob Collier in the 0-2 Lamborghini. Now working his way towards the back half of his lap. See if he can do any better than P8 this time by.
We took a real wide arc there through turns 13 off of turn 14 here, setting up for the front stretch. See what kind of lap time he puts down here. Interesting approach there through 13. Went real wide, arced the corner.
Let's see if that helps him now coming across the start-finish line. And it does help him a little bit. He's still P8. Best his last lap time. Let's see what Travis Smith can do. He's going across the start-finish line now. It does not help him. See if anybody... We got Nicholas Pressey here coming across... Or excuse me, going into turn 12 now. Let's see if he can best his time. He's P7 at the moment in that Lamborghini.
He grabbed a lot of curb there going into turn 12. Was able to hang on to it and carry his momentum towards 13. Let's see what he can do this time by at the line.
He does best it, but it's still just not enough to get up there. We got Tim Henderson now coming down the front straightaway in that Porsche. Let's see what he can do. Coming across the start-finish line now. It's his first lap he's putting down. He goes P15. Got Zohar here. He just got done across the start-finish line. Not any better. We'll see. We got Elliott Cox here in the BMW that he is racing tonight. You can see he took a little bit of a different line than Rob going through that corner. Coming onto the straightaway now. He is currently P6. Let's see if he can do anything better. And he goes P3 with a 25.7. A great lap by Elliott Cox there.
Looks like he's still in it, trying to go for another one to see if he can improve it this time.
We got Brian. Brian is racing a Ferrari. Let's see what he can do crossing the start-finish line now. Any better? No, he is slower. Here's Steven Downton coming across, or coming out the last corner of the track, going to be crossing the start-finish line. Let's see what he can do here. It is a little bit better. We got Javon Thompson here in the Nerds Porsche. He's coming around the last corner here. He's coming down the straightaway. Let's see if he can better his time. And he does not. He's still in the 10th position.
Dallas Seward just put down a P7 lap of 126.198.
A great lap by that 38 team there, Dallas Seward. Maybe showing a little bit of road talent there. We'll see what he can do tonight. Elliott Cox in P3. Let's see if he can best it. He does not. Here's Cameron Capone. We'll see what he can do going onto the front straightaway here. Going to be crossing the start-finish line. He's got Jeremy Toon right behind him. We'll see what both of these drivers can do. Crossing the start-finish line. And he does best it. He gains 1 place. Jeremy Toon does put down a good lap time. Not good enough to best his P17 position. We'll actually go to Michael Oceans here and see what he can do coming across the start-finish line now. Let's see. He does go to P10. Javon Thompson again coming down the front straightaway. Let's see if he can best his lap time. And he does. He goes P9.
Wow. 7th through about 13th there. Those guys are all right up on top of each other lap time-wise. This is crazy here in qualifying.
Michael Costello in the number 52 BMW. We'll see if he can best his lap time. He is in P5. And he runs the same exact lap time.
That is extremely consistent. If you can do that, back that up in the race.
Okay, let's see if Cameron Capone can do anything here to best his position. He's coming off the final corner now. We'll see what he can do. He runs a good lap time, 126.7. Still puts him in P15. We got Tim Henderson. He's next up. He's coming across the last few corners here. We'll see what he can do.
Oh, made a little bit of mistake there in turns 13. See if we can recover here down the straightaway.
Coming across the start-finish line now. What does Tim do? 127.9. That does not propel him any further. Michael Costello is back at it again. He's putting in another lap here. He runs a little bit wide. And he gets a pretty decent arc going through. Oh, he's off track. Not going to work out for Michael. We got James Pierce, your current pole sitter, and he is deciding to stop.
I think you got to be feeling pretty confident for the pole here if you're Pierce. He put down a blistering lap, 0.8 of a second over Kabani there in P2. It's going to be a tough lap time to beat.
Absolutely. Now, also remember, our qualifying sets that these guys are putting on their cars are drastically different than the race setup. Unless, you know, they found something else that would get him close to that. So we could be seeing a huge difference in our qualifying sets that we're seeing now. But race set might be, I don't know, more comparable. We might be, we'll see. We'll see.
Here's it looks like we got about 2 minutes left here in qualifying. Doesn't look like we got any more action on track. And we currently have the top three within a second of each other, and then we got the next three right on top of each other there. Two of them, Costello and Shaw, running identical lap times. And then the next 4 or 5 after that, from 7th through 12th, are all within a 1/10.5 of each other. Just an impressive qualifying session. These guys were so tight on lap time through qualifying. Looks like we're not going to see any last-ditch efforts here for qualifying. So we've got 30 seconds to go in this session. Looks like we're pole sitter here for tonight will be the _1 car there, James Pierce, with a lap time of 1 minute 24 seconds, 0.750.
All right, congratulations to James Pierce here. We'll be going into warm-up now. This will give our drivers 5 minutes of time to go and tweak their setups for this 45-minute race. We'll see what these guys figure out here. Maybe it might be something that's game-changing.
Yeah, get the last little minute bugs worked out of your setup, throw the race setup on, run a couple laps, see what it can do, and then get prepared for that turn 1 entry. It's going to be the story of the race.
Now with about 50 seconds left in warm-up, this is James Pierce. He is your pole winner for tonight. Running a fantastic lap time. The only one in the 124s, Jay. This guy has figured something out. He's going to be a serious contender for tonight. We'll see what he can do.
It's going to be quick. I think the key to this race, though, is survival of turn 1 and then setting up your pace 4 strategy, because some of these guys might want to go a little longer. Maybe want to do the undercut like you mentioned. We might see 10, 15 different strategies out here tonight. It'll be interesting to see what these guys have planned out to be there at the end of this race to take that checker flag.
Absolutely. Warm-up is now complete. We will be seeing these guys on the grid ready to get this race underway. We've got 19 drivers about to take the start of this race. First off, we will be starting with the grid. We've got, starting on pole, James Pierce in the number 1 car. He is driving the Porsche. On pole, we got Zohar Kabani in the Mercedes, starting P2.
Starting P3 in the number 51, that will be Elliot Cox. And to the outside of him, in the number 69, will be Travis Smith.
Michael Costello in 5th place in the number 52 car in the BMW. Gregory Schall in 6th in the number 45 BMW.
And the number 38, that would be starting 7th, and 38 would be Dallas Seward, and starting in 8th in the number 94, that'd be Nicholas Presley.
Javon Thompson starting P9 in a 93 car with Rob Collier starting P10 in the 02.
Starting in 11th in the 111, Michael Oceans with Tim Henderson in the 20. Rounding out your top 12 starters here tonight.
There you have it. We'll be going around the track here. We got pace car out. They will be able to warm up their tires a little bit and make sure everything is good to go. And then we will be having a rolling start. We'll be able to see what James Pierce can do on this start with Kabani on the outside of him in that Mercedes. The only Mercedes on track tonight. We'll see what he can do through turn 1. He has got a swarm of BMWs behind him. We'll see what they can do. Maybe a little bit of BMW gang going on. We'll be seeing in turn 1 with these guys.
I think we're going to see a lot of gang going into turn 1 here on the first lap. A lot of cars are going to be making a move. That's your first great opportunity to get some ground made up early. As we mentioned, turns 1, turn 7, and turns 12, 13 combo is going to be probably your best places to make overtakes here tonight. But we've seen it in other places too. We might see a lot of action getting this track position early.
Jay, we're going to be seeing a lot of action through this chicane on lap 1. I'm excited to see what can come of this. This gets pretty sketchy with a lot of cars.
Yeah. Not a place you want to be side by side. You want to clear it out, make your overtake before you get into turn 5, before you hit the chicane. If you go side by side through there, we've seen a lot of carnage in many racing series. We'll see what they can do to navigate that tough chicane here tonight, because you get a good run off of 6, sets you up for the best passing zone on the entire track. Turn 7.
Absolutely.
That's where they're going now.
Turn 7 is what you're looking at right now. This is a prime opportunity corner to make a pass to get yourself ahead of the guy in front of you. And it all starts at the chicane, like what Jay was talking about. Now we'll go into our turn 9 section. You guys can see how crazy this little S section that is going on here. Maybe not a lot of prime passing opportunities there. Turn 10 turns into a possible passing opportunity. I mean, if you know,
if you're bold enough.
If you're bold, that's right, absolutely. But here is another great passing zone, Jay. Let's talk about it for a second.
Yeah, you got 9 degrees of banking coming up here off of turn 11. Real sketchy. If you don't catch the corner just right, you get up on the banking a little too soon. We've seen a lot of mistakes here in the past, getting up in the wall there, headed towards turn 12. But if If you get a great run off of 11 there, be able to set your car right, you get a good run through 12, you might be able to set him up for 13, but here we are. Pace car's going to be leaving the track.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to go green flag racing with James Pierce leading the field to green here at the Indy Road Course on the first race of Season 1 for the Formula Tour Series. James Pierce getting a great start in front of Cabani right now in the Mercedes. You're going to see these guys go 3, 4, 5 wide going into turn 1 now. James Pierce holds on to the lead as we go side by side for second, third, fourth place.
Wow, some great moves there through turns 1. They got through cleanly. Here we head towards turn 3 here. Oh, we got contact in the back. Multiple cars around. Caution sector 3 right here. They're continuing through. Somebody missed turn 5 there. They went right through the chicane. Setting up for turn 7 now for the leaders.
We'll see if we get back bunched up here. Looks like Cabani lost a couple of spots there. He's back in P4. I think it's just local cautions here, Jay. You can see James Pierce. He got off a little bit there. That gives prime opportunity for Elliott Cox and Michael Costello to catch back up to that Porsche.
Yeah, that's a great point. Right now, you got to maintain that gap here early as we're going to battle here for P2. Is Costello. He's looking with that BMW, trying to find a way around Cox. Going to set up for the front straightaway here. Looks like the yellow may be out.
Looks like these guys are slowing down for a caution. We'll see if pace car comes back out. We got a car on pit road. That is Jeremy Toon. Jay, let's go back and look at what happened here. Yes, we've got the caution out. Go with Jeremy Toon and see what happened. On this crash cam, Jeremy Toon already turned around. Let's see if we can go back maybe just a little bit further here. Rewind. Show you guys. Oh, making a little bit of contact right there and grabbing.
Like Shaw made. Yeah, it looks like Shaw got into the back of him there. Just a little bit through turns 2.
I apologize for that. Our paints are a little messed up there. I know it says the 45 on the side, but that is the 11 car, Jeremy Toon. Go back live here and see. The race going back on here right now. We've got Michael Costello in a heated battle with Elliott Cox and Zohar Cabani. Cabani, again, the only driver with the Mercedes out there tonight. We'll see what he can do to get around the pair of BMWs in front of him. And we slow up for the pace car.
Yeah, exactly what we mentioned at the top. Getting through turn 1 on lap 1 was the key to the race, and a couple guys caught their misfortune. We got an early yellow here. It's gonna allow us to bunch them up for a single file restart here. Looks like the whole field here is bunching back up. We have James Pierce continuing to lead here. Got through turn 1 cleanly with the lead. Fastest car in qualifying, your pole sitter. As we see Cox and Costello both get by Cabani there, who's running P4. Shaw's up to P5. We got Travis Smith, Pressey there, P6-7. Dallas Seward lost a spot there on that initial start, back to P8. Javon Thompson, P9. Rob Collier, P10. As we run currently, one guy, James Toon, involved in that accident. He's currently 2 laps down on pit lane. Still 18 cars currently on the lead lap. Looks like Steven Doughton's trying to catch back up to the field here. May have been involved in that accident. Looks like we're going here, headed towards turn 11. Looks like the lights are out on the pace vehicle.
We're going green flag racing, ladies and gentlemen. That is James Pierce going to be leading the field to green in that number 1 Porsche. He's got the pair of BMWs behind him, the Elliott Cox and Michael Costello, Zahar Kabani in the lone Mercedes entry, and P4 Gregory Shaw in the 45 car P5. That is your top 5 right now. We'll see what these drivers can do now going through these final corners. They're going to be setting themselves up for the restart. Now, pace car off the racing surface. These guys are going green flag racing off the final corner. Here comes James Pierce in the Porsche. He is hugging the inside wall, trying to not let the cars get the draft behind him as he now goes past the start-finish line and going into turn 1 now. Elliott Cox might have something for James Pierce, and he pulls to the inside. He's got the inside line. They're side by side. No! James Pierce cuts him off. Now going through 3, it's the BMWs behind James Pierce, and they're not going to have anything for him now. Going through 3, and it looks like the BMWs are now battling themselves.
Wow, they got there. There's a little bit of cat and mouse into turn 1. Pierce was able to prevail as the BMWs continue to battle off of turn 6. The field spreads out. Here we are, turn 7. This is your best passing opportunity. Looks like we got a bunch of cars back there battling it out, looking for position as the BMWs continue to chase Pierce into turn 7. Oh, we're going to go side by side here into turn 7. Is that Javon to the inside? He's looking to improve his position. Running order as we go. James Pierce continues to lead.
Now you're going to see James Pierce coming off of turn 11 and into turn 12. He's got a great gap behind him. That is 1 second gap to the pair of the BMWs. As you now see the rest of the field coming through here. Got Javon Thompson now going through turn 12. He's got a close battle with another Porsche behind him. And you can see everybody else catching back up.
As we got both these BMWs, Costello's coming at Cox here. He's going to try and make an overtake here into turn 1. He's dragging right behind him. He's going to be real close. Does he go to the inside here to turn 1? He doesn't. He's going to follow him through turns 1. As the rest of the field, man, these guys are getting aggressive on the brakes here. As we're going to head towards turn 2. Here's off into turn 3 here. Setting up for the right-hander for 4 and then off to the chicane. Currently, your leader still James Pierce with a 2-second lead currently.
BMW still battling it out here. The Mercedes entry, Kabani losing a bit of time here. He's got a second in front of him to the next BMW, Michael Costello. Again, though, Kabani doing a great job holding this other BMW off behind him. Like I said, these BMWs are going to be ganging up on this guy. We'll see what they can do now. We've got Greg Shaw right there. He was pushing real hard there, but Kabani getting the advantage there on the exit of that last corner.
Yeah, as we're currently closing in on 9 minutes into this race of a 45-minute race, as we see Kabani, he's actually starting to leg those BMWs that are hounding him from behind. He's trying to close in on the 2 BMWs of Cox and Costello in front of him as he sets off of turn 14, setting up for the long front straightaway. We got a lot of gap to gain, but got to mind that sector and that gap so that you can use that pit strategy advantage to gain on Pierce, who continues to lead as he extends it actually over these BMWs behind him.
And that he does. On the bottom right there, you can look at sector times. You can see how much faster James is going through these sectors than Elliot Cox is. As you can see right there, Pierce gained 0.4 of a second over Cox in Sector 1. And you can look even below that, the different laps, how much faster Pierce was over Elliot Cox.
Yeah, he is continuing to gap these guys behind him, but Cox and Costello, they're still in this tight battle here for P2 as we got a lot more cars getting into this battle. We got Kabani, Shaw, and Smith all up into this mix here. This is anybody's race for P2, just being able to navigate these tight corners as it looked like Shaw was trying to send it there on the inside of Kabani. Wasn't able to make it happen, but they continue to move forward here as we are closing in on 10.5 minutes through this race. Lap 6.
You can see the lap time difference between Elliot Cox here and Michael Costello. If you look on the right-hand side there, now lap 6 was just completed. Elliot Cox, 0.2 of a second quicker than Michael Costello. And he's still holding on. He's doing a great job there.
Yes, this gap is kind of growing even more exponentially here as he's at 3.5 seconds up, but we still have this battle here for second. We got 5 cars here under a blanket within a second of each other, still battling it out, as now Kabani is still getting hounded from Shaw. Shaw has been giving him look after look, hasn't been able to get close enough into the passing zones. This is one here, turn 7. Does he have anything for him? He's going to get real close to his bumper in that BMW to the Mercedes. Wasn't able to make it happen. He's going to follow him through turns 8, off into turn 9 here. He's on his bumper. Here comes Shaw looking to find a way around Kabani. Not able to make it happen. He's going to follow him here, headed towards turn 11, up to the banking and the transition here towards turn 12.
And turn 12, it might be coming to fruition here for Shaw. It does not happen, though. And going back into turn 12, or 13, excuse me now, Gregory Shaw looking to make a pass on Zohar Kabani in the 902 Mercedes. Now coming off the final corner and down the straightaway, he's going to be looking for that draft. We'll see what the 45 car can do now. Coming across the start-finish line and going into turn 1. Let's see if he makes a pass. He might not be close enough, but nonetheless on his rear bumper.
Yeah, I think Costello might have made a mistake. He's lost touch there with Cox in front of him as they continue to close in on Costello. We'll see what he can do as Shaw is still hounding this Mercedes of Kabani. Kabani is doing a wonderful job defending at the moment as we're going through turns 5 and 6, off of 6 now, heading for turn 7 again. Is he a little closer this time? It does look like he is. He'll have an opportunity here into the tight left-hander, the braking zone of 7. Does he have anything for him? He doesn't. Was not close enough to make a move. Gonna head towards 8 and 9, the technical corners. We're gonna go on board here with Shaw as he continues to hound the Mercedes of Kabani. He's doing a lot better under braking, but Kabani gets a great run off of 9 and 10, and here it is, setting up for 11 onto the transition.
And here he comes again, a great passing opportunity, not going to happen this time by. The best he can hope for is a little bit of a run going through these corners to try and get to the rear bumper of Zohar for the front straightaway, get that draft, and looks like he's real close. He's going to be looking to the inside. He's going to lose a little bit of grip there. He had to lift off the throttle, but nonetheless still on the rear bumper of the 902 Mercedes and coming across the start-finish line. Let's stay on board with this car and see what he decides to do through turn 1. He's looking inside. It's not going to happen this time by, but on the brakes now and into turn 1, he almost is making contact with that Mercedes car going through turn 2 and into turn 3 and 4. He gets a little loose and he loses time. But this is where Greg is his fastest. Let's see what he can do for this Mercedes.
Yes, he's going to set up turn 5. If he can get just closer here off of 6, he does not get as good of a run this time off of 6's last lap. He's not going to be close enough to make a challenge into turn 7. Kabani's going to go with a little bit of a defensive line, it appears. Yeah, he's a little lower as he's going to send it in a little bit deeper. He's really good under braking. He just can't get the drive off the corner. He's fighting the wheel a little bit there. little bit of oversteer.
Oh,
He's
they
on
made
the
contact!
bumper now,
Go around! Your top 5
big
cars!
action.
Travis Smith makes it through. That puts him into P4 as they get back going on track. Both of these guys, some terrible luck. Greg making contact with the Mercedes of Zohar. Not what they wanted at all. Travis Smith, though, making the best of it. We'll see if he can hold on to that position. A great job to just stay in the mix there and pounce on any opportunity that he could get.
Yeah, that was exciting there. Looked like Shaw just got a little aggressive, made some contact. Both went off the track. Smith was able to avoid it, move him up to P4 currently. So he's going through turns 1 now. He has Costello and Cox just right up the road from him. That's within striking distance here. Let's see if he can put together a couple of good clean corners. Maybe set something up off of 6 and maybe make a charge at him down into turn 7. It looks like he's still about 2 seconds behind Costello, but still running phenomenally well up here in P4.
Let's go back and look at that contact between these two drivers here. We'll go and rewind it real quick and see what truly happened between these two drivers. Let's go on board with our Dega Boys camera and see what happened from the perspective of Gregory Shaw now coming through these final corners. Looks like he just didn't expect that much of a checkup and got into the rear. Unfortunate for those two drivers. Let's go back to a close battle here between Zohar and Brian.
Yeah, this is a great battle. Zohar, he's currently back to P7 after that collision there. Shaw fell back to P9, but we currently have Bartholomew. He's up here in 8th. He's going to be trying to make his way towards the front, as currently Pressy's in P5, Collier's P6. A lot of shakeup here in the front of this field. Oh, we got a car off the track here.
That's pit.
Missed. Oh, he's going to pit lane.
That's Greg Shaw.
Here we go. Here we go. Strategy. He had to abort on his initial strategy with that contact. Here he comes. Lap 11.
Rob Collier coming under attack by Zohar Kabani in that Mercedes. They're side by side now, going through turn 2 with Brian. Brian B looking to pounce on any opportunity that he can. Looks like Zohar is going to take it from Rob. Rob losing out on that spot now in P7. P6 goes to Zohar Kabani in the Mercedes.
Yeah, he's on his rebound. The charge back towards the front after all that time lost. He gets by Rob. Looks like Brian B is currently running 8th. He's trying to hound as we're back to the lead here. Is this the battle here for second between Cox and Costella? Looks like they're going to be going through turns 12 now. Cox continues to hold his position. These guys have been battling all race. Looks like Costello might have found something here after making an early mistake and losing time. He's closing the gap off of turn 14. He's got a great run here. He's going to have something for him headed towards turn 1. Let's see if he can make it materialize here.
On board right now with Michael Costello right behind Elliott Cox. Gonna go into turn 1. Let's see if he can make an opportunity happen. Under braking zone, it doesn't look like it. Michael Costello is going to the outside as Elliott Cox overcooks the corner. He's not going to have a great exit off of turn 2. This is everything that Michael Costello wanted right now to take advantage of a position that could be his. But now going through 3 and 4, Elliott Cox also going through the chicane now. Elliott Cox, he's making that gap back up. Maybe just a couple of bad corners there that Michael Costello took advantage of, and now going into turn 7, we'll see if anything materializes, and it looks like it doesn't.
Yeah, he's going to follow him here through the chicane. He's really fast in these real technical tight corners through this 7, 8, 9 complex here. He's going to get a great run here, set him up here for turn 11. Here we head towards turn 11. Costello still hounding Cox. He is all over his rear bumper here. He's going to lose a little bit of time on the transition. He's going to send it in heavy on the brakes. What a move as he continues to close. Oh, he lost a lot of time there. Got a lot of oversteer going through turns 12. He's going to lose a little bit of time. That's going to hurt him down the front stretch here as he really lost the front end.
That's a pretty big disappointment there for the Costello team. You saw how much time he made up Last time by, he's going to have a lot more work in front of him. Now we're going back here to the Rob Collier Zohar Kabani battle. These guys are still keeping it under a blanket here, doing a great job in keeping these cars clean and racing very fair. We got Zohar still leading this pack, though, in front of him. 5 seconds to P5. That's Nicholas Pressey in a Ferrari.
Oh, as we see Brad B send it in at a turn 1. Almost makes contact with Rob Collier there. That was fortunate for both of those drivers. We could have seen a big accident there in a turn 1 as we got a BMW here of Oceans all over Brad B. He is giving him the business back here through turns 5 off of 6. He lost a lot of time there off of 6, grabbed a little bit of the apron or the turtle there and lost some ground. We're going to see what he has for turn 7. He's still a little bit too far back for striking distance, but we got cars in 6th through 11th here under a blanket as Dallas Seaward's mixing it up here in that Porsche behind Oceans.
Absolutely. Dallas Seward really turning it up on these road courses. Going to be able to fight for a top 10 position at the moment, which is a great points day. We'll see what these guys in front of them, though. Zohar Kabani still doing a great job leading these guys in front of them. But again, we got these two BMWs in P2 and P3. These guys are going at it once more. 2/10 separating these two guys. Now going into turn 1, Michael Costello all over the rear bumper of Elliot Cox, now going through 3, and they're side by side now. He's not going to make it work. He's going to shoot to the inside. He takes that position away. He dives it real deep in there. Elliot Cox, he's looking for the crossover now. They're side by side going through the chicane, and Michael Costello prevails. He's into P2.
With this battle going on, here comes Travis Smith up to P3. What a move! Here we go. He's going to come back at him. Cox was not able to come back at him. He lost 2 positions here in the first 6-7 corners of this course. Here comes Smith. Where did he come from? He's up here battling for a P2 position. As Costello has made up all this ground back up to P2. Headed for turn 11 here. Costello leads. Smith, we got this battle is heating up here for P2.
A great battle that we are witnessing right now. Travis Smith showing his face about mid-part of this race. He's looking to the outside of the 3 car. Here comes the 2 car, and they're making contact, and he's around. Travis Smith gets turned by Elliot Cox, going through 12 and 13. Going back onto the front straightaway now. They're still battling out side by side now. Travis Smith trying to get that position back. They're still banging doors going down the front straightaway.
Oh, what a battle. These guys both make contact. They're still battling into turn 1. Who's going to give? We're going to play some cat and mouse on the brakes here into turn 1. To the inside, he's going to barely be able to outbrake him. No, on the outside, they're going to nearly make contact. What a battle. Smith and Cox are just putting it door to door here through turns off into turn 3. Still side by side headed for turn 4.
Travis Smith making the best of the position right now, going side by side into the chicane. Elliot Cox Travis Smith thinking better of it. He holds the brakes as now they're going down the back straightaway. He's all over the rear bumper. He's blocking. Here comes Travis Smith going into turn 7. He dives it in deep. He gets that position over Elliot Cox. Travis Smith is into P3, but maybe not for long. Elliot Cox looking to make a comeback for that P3 position. We've got Michael Costello again back in front of him. Even after they got turned around, Michael Costello is backing on back to these two battling it out now, going into turn 12.
We got a 3-car battle. Here he goes. Smith is going to go real wide. Here comes Cox back to the outside, or the inside of turn 12. Now he's to the outside. They're going to try to hound the car. We're going to Cox is off the track. Oh my goodness, Smith is still to the outside here of Costello. We're going to go side by side. No, Costello will clear him. We're going to battle it out down the front. He's going to throw a little bit of a block to the inside wall. What a move there by Travis Smith as he's looking to take over P2. Here he is to the inside into turn 1.
Travis Smith on the outside of Michael Costello. Let's see if he can do anything here. He thinks better of it, but Costello gets into the grass going into turn 1, holds on to it for now. Travis Smith looking to make a move. Also, Cox to the inside. He's not going to make it happen. Nothing to materialize. And going through the chicane now, here comes Travis Smith all over the road trying to gain as much advantage as he can. And, they're just under a blanket right now. Oh, Cox trying to make a move. Nothing materializes. Easy to the outside of Costello now going into turn 7.
Crossover move. Here he is back to the outside through turns 8. He just doesn't have enough room to make it happen. Too technical. He had to give way there. Coming through turns 9 and 10. Set up for 11. If you don't look now, here comes Pressy. He's closing in on this battle. We might have 4 cars under a blanket for P2. As Costello is now legging Smith. Smith's gonna get heavy on the brakes. Cox is heavy on the brakes. Near contact between Cox and Smith again. This is wild. This is the battle for P2. Costello makes a little bit of a mistake there in 13. He might be able to get a good drive off of 14. Here we are to complete or get to the start of lap 17 for these guys. Still battling for this P2 position.
This is going to be prime opportunity for Travis Smith to do something. He's going to the outside of Costello into turn 1. Let's see if he can do anything. Now in the braking zone, Costello, he overcooks it. He's in the grass. He's going to have to slow down. He's going to get that position back to Travis Smith as he goes back to the outside, of Costello. He's not giving up that position, though. Here comes Cox to the inside of Travis Smith. He's looking to the outside, going through the chicane. He thinks better of it. And now going down the back straightaway. Travis Smith relegated back to P4.
Wow, what great racing as these guys continue to battle. Here comes Pressy. He's back in it. And if you look a little further, there comes Kabani back into the mix. We got 4 cars, 5 cars now, and even Collier's in the mix here. Wow, this battle for P2 is now Costello. He had to let go for that running through turns 1. As now Cox is now into P2, Smith back to P3. Here comes Pressy, and then Kabani up to P5. What a battle as we're going through up to turn 11, setting up for turn 12. Wow.
This battle has allowed the other P4, P5, and P6 to catch up to these guys. Nicholas Pressy leading that charge with Zohar Kabani behind him. Michael Costello being very aggressive on that Mercedes to try to get some position back as we see Travis Smith now losing a little bit of time to Elliot Cox. It doesn't matter though, he's on a podium position. P3 in that BMW as Nicholas Pressy tries to run him down.
Yeah, where did Nicholas Pressy come from?
Oh, we got a dive bomb!
Kabani hard on the brakes. Oh, he's going to overshoot the corner. That's going to allow Costello to come back at him here through turns 2. He's looking to the outside, to the inside now through turns 3. Into turn 4. Oh, Costello makes the move on Kabani. Completes the pass up to P5. Set up for turns 5 and 6. This is a single file line that you got to take through here. He can't make anything happen. Oh, Kabani's going to get a great run here to 7. Can he set him up? Oh, Costello puts a block. Contact is made. Kabani looking to the inside.
He's back to the inside.
Sends it in. Oh, he doesn't make it happen. What a battle. Oh, my goodness.
Zohar wanting that position back. Guys, we are 27 minutes and 49 seconds into this race. We're just over halfway now. These guys are going to be starting to do their pit cycles. In fact, Rob Collier just finished his pit cycle. He went in the previous lap. We could be seeing these other guys starting to pit as well. We'll be seeing what these pit strategies look like now as we're on board with, Nicholas Pressy. He's going down pit road now.
Yeah, he's splitting the race in half. We might see guys try to split it in quarters as well. We have got an open playbook here, 15 different strategies, I would assume, as we see continue to be up here in P2 is Cox, continue to lead over Smith, who's lost a little bit of ground, and then Costello, after making a mistake, he's back on the P4 in front of Kabani, as they were putting up a battle there in a turn 7 last time by. As we continue, oh, we got grass, oh my goodness, he saves it, he ran a wheel off. He's gonna lose a little bit of time here though, as Cox continues to run P2.
Cox doing a great job to hold on to this position. Or Travis Smith doing a great job holding on to this position. In P3 right now, he's got Elliott Cox in front of him. Michael Costello here in the 52 car. That BMW, we got a lap car in between them. Zohar Kabani right there doing a great comeback tour. He is P5 at the moment. Brian B there as well in the Ferrari. So we'll see what these guys can do to hold him up. Try to get him close now. And maybe a little bit more battling as we see pit cycles go through.
Yeah, as we got P2 through P6 all within 6 seconds of each other. Still battling up here. Oh, we got a tight battle here. I believe that is a lap car. I'm not sure exactly which one that is. But we have to navigate it as we're setting up down the front stretch here as we are...
No takers to pit road this time by. These guys are still staying out on track. Maybe it's a possibility we're looking at a strategy, Jay, of these guys going full fuel at the beginning of the race, which them knowing that they could make the whole race on one tank of fuel. If they come down pit road, maybe they have to take a splash of gas or not any gas at all and speeding up that pit stop time to try to get an advantage against everybody else. Possibility. We'll be looking at it, though. The first person we did see pit, Rob Collier.
Yeah, and he's currently sitting back in 15th, 1 lap down to your leader as we run. Currently only 10 cars on the lead lap, back to Oceans in the 111. That's how fast this one car of James Pierce is. He's putting on a blistering pace right now, just taking off from the field. Multiple cars here in a tight battle. Like I said, we got the top 2 through 6 up here within 6 seconds of each other. Still a lot of positions to be gained and lost. And also another guy that pitted recently, that number 94 Pressey. He's currently on the lead lap right now. 1 minute 29 behind your race leader, James Pierce.
Oh, I have a report here. Possibly James Pierce just crashed. Let's go look at this real quick and see what happened. Oh, he got big damage.
Oh, your race leader
got big damage there. Let's see if that slows him down a little bit. That's big news. Go back up to James Pierce here. See what happened. Almost a second slower.
6 seconds in that with that collision there to what he had in the gap to Cox. Looks like Tim Henderson's on pit lane now from P10. And
Rob?
Pressey up to P10.
It looked like Rob's back down pit lane right now. Maybe a little bit of damage that he incurred there. Rob Collier
Yeah, that's gonna
did
down
crash.
the running order for sure.
Got Elliott Cox down pit road.
Yeah, and Brad B as well. These guys were running respectively 2nd and 6th, so here they come, making their pit stops. It's all about execution now. Don't make any mistakes. He's got so many positions to gain. As you see, a ton of damage on the front end of Brad B's car here. That Lamborghini, a lot of front end damage.
So we'll continue to monitor these people going down pit road. Right now on board with Travis Smith in the 69 car.
Yeah, it looks like your race leader, James Pierce, even with that collision that he had, he's able to gap this second place driver here of Smith a little bit here, up to 22 seconds now. When does he make his pit stop? He's in protect mode at the moment with such a huge amount of a gap. He can kind of pick and choose, right, when he wants to pit.
Absolutely, he does. Now, last time by, he was still 7/10 quicker than second place, even with the damage on the rear of his car. So still He found something at this road course. He is super fast. We got Travis Smith down pit road. Michael Costello behind him. Zohar Kabani behind him.
These were your 2nd through 4th place runners as they come into pit lane. See what they do to gain some ground up here. Maybe shortcutting Pierce here. Maybe they can gain some ground. If Pierce has any more incidents, maybe they can get back into this battle here up at the front. But we'll have to see what they can do and where they will blend back out. As Pressey actually is still behind Brad B and Cox, who is currently P7 there in that 51 car, who was running P2 before the pit cycle.
Elliot Cox, this is the guy we're looking at. He was one of those few BMWs up there. He was battling. He pitted just a little bit ago. We'll see what Elliot Cox can do against these other BMWs and Mercedes that just pitted. Right now, they are still in their pit box. On pit exit now, Travis Smith is on the racing surface. Not working out for Elliot Cox tonight on pit road strategy. Travis Smith coming back out ahead of Cox.
Yeah, it's all about that in and out lap, right? It looks like Cox maybe blended in traffic, maybe lost a little bit of time on his out lap. And with Smith being up in P2, nobody in front of him was able to push hard there on his in lap. That could be the difference, as the undercut did not seem to work here for Cox, who was running P2 before the pit cycle.
Zohar Kabani in the 902 Mercedes, finding himself back up into the podium positions. The lone Mercedes working by himself tonight and putting on a great showing.
Yeah, what a recovery for this guy. He was up in the grass there off of turn 8 earlier in this race, all the way back up into a podium position. He's got a pretty sizable gap, 3 seconds to Oceans and 4 seconds over Cox. So let's see if he can maintain now that he's on fresher tires.
A great run by Travis Smith too. Getting a little bit of contact there during the little bit of battling that we had. We just got another report. James Pierce goes around. Let's look at it here. Going into turn 12 right now. Oh, he just making a little bit of contact there with the other Porsche. Number 7 Porsche, Cameron Capone. Not what he needs. All that little bit of damage adds up over time.
Yeah, it does. And we've got closing in on 8 minutes remaining in this race. We still haven't seen Pierce hit pit lane yet. Currently a minute 6 over Smith. Just got to get through here cleanly. Maybe you just get your pit stop done now to avoid any potential carnage that could come in your way, preventing you from taking this victory here tonight.
We've got a good battle going on here right now. Elliot Cox is the white BMW there. He's got Michael Costello behind him and Brian B in front of him. These guys have been trading positions a little bit here while we've been talking about our leader, James Pierce. We'll see what these guys can do with each other now going into turn 12. No passing happening. Elliot Cox. Oh, Michael Costello onto the grass, making another mistake in that BMW.
Yeah, as he is having a little bit of a rough time here tonight in some of these technical corners behind people, but it looks like Brad B up into P5, Oceans ahead of that. This is a great battle here for P4s. They're trying to track down Kobani. Podiums are still at play here as your leader, James Pierce, hits pit lane.
This is going to be big. Let's see what Travis Smith can do now. He's coming through the final, or he's coming through the chicane. He's coming down the back straightaway now. He's going to make up a lot of time, Jay, but I don't think it's going to be enough for Travis to pass him during this pit cycle.
No, he's way behind. He's only going through 7 now. He's got a lot of work to do if he's going to gain that time to Smith, or to Pierce, I mean. But nonetheless, amazing pit strategy. Got out ahead of all those guys he was battling to be in a P2 position now and a chance. I mean, that was phenomenal strategy and phenomenal driving behind the wheel there by Travis Smith.
Absolutely, it is. We still see James Pierce. He's coming out now. He's going on pit exit, and Travis Smith is now coming through turn 13. And into 14 now, James Pierce coming on pit exit and into turn 1. That gap now is coming down a lot. We'll let the ticker refresh itself. Give you guys an accurate number. Once that comes down to an accurate number, it's already back down to 20 seconds. And it's just back to 20 seconds. He did gain a little bit of time. It was 25 before all the shenanigans started happening. So Travis Smith putting down some fantastic lap times to get himself back up to P1.
Yeah, as we currently have 5.5 minutes to go in this race, Smith is now on protection mode as we just battle here. Oh, we got contact! Is that Cox around? It is! Big contact for Brad B as well. Move Costello past these guys, man. This guy keeps finding moves and making moves past these guys. This guy just doesn't give up. It's insane.
Michael just really shoving it in there into turn 1 and manhandling all the cars around him. He does make up the positions to P5, though. Michael Ocean's being relegated all the way back to P8. P8 for Michael Ocean's at the moment. Elliot Cox up to P4. Zohar Kabani in P3. Travis Smith, your P2 runner right now, and your leader for the whole race at the moment, James Pierce.
Yeah, you gotta wonder what happened to Cox on his in and out laps, because he lost a lot of time there to Smith. He was right in the mix here for a P2, P3 finish. Just missed the strategy a little bit. He's gotta wonder what could have been, as he currently runs P4. Costello 2 seconds behind him. Brad B currently behind Costello. That battle for 5th might get heated up here. A lot of damage on the front end of Brad B's car, as we noted on pit sequence there. See if he has anything left to come back for a P5 here on Costello in that 52 car, P5.
Jay, we're looking at just about 4 minutes left in this race. We've got a huge lead by the number 1 car of James Pierce over Travis Smith at the moment. Travis Smith doing a great job. Oh, we got a wreck in the back.
Somebody's off.
Trying to find who that is. That is Matt Yost. Matt Yost is into the tire barriers after the chicane on the back straightaway.
Yeah, currently running P14 right now. Losing a little bit of time there with that incident, but our best battle on track is for this P5 position between Costello and Brad B here. This is the closest battle on track. Does Costello have anything, or Brad B have anything for Costello here? He's running out of time. We got 3 minutes to go here in this race.
3 minutes left. Brian B trying to get that top 5. We'll see what he can do. He's a little bit slower last time by, but so was Michael after their little bit of contact they had in turn 1. Coming now through 13 and into 14. We'll see what Brian can do down this front straightaway. Try to get a little bit of a run here to get back up to the rear bumper of Michael Costello.
Yeah, it looks like Cox is also backing up to these guys a little bit too, so we might have a 3-car battle here for the P4 spot. Towards the end of this race, Cox is playing it conservative into turn 1, real light on the brakes, not over pushing them or over cooking them into turn 1. Running cleanly here through turns 2, turns 3, now into turn 4, setting up for the chicanes 5 and 6. He's currently got about a second over Costello, as well as another second to Brad B. This could be a battle here. We got 2 minutes remaining in this race. Let's see what they can do. Headed for 7.
These guys still got a little bit of a gap in between them. They're not looking like anybody's a little bit quicker than the other. Michael Costello did put down a flyer last time by. He is the second fastest car on track compared to James Pierce. Michael Costello putting down some awesome lap times. He'll be pretty close to catching Elliot Cox here. If Elliot doesn't make a mistake, it'll be a good race. We'll keep looking between these two guys here and watching what happens for the final minute and a half of this race, Jay.
Yeah, we got a minute and a half remaining. You got to wonder how many more opportunities does this 52 car of Costello have to come back at Cox up here in P4, as Brad B is using up all the track coming up onto the straightaway there. Nearly made wall contact there. He's got a couple more opportunities going into turn 1. As long as Cox keeps not overcooking the brakes into turn 1 or turn 7, he should be fine. No mistakes. Just run your line, run your pace. Should be able to bring this thing home P4.
Brian B putting down the hate right now, trying to get back up to Michael Costello to try and challenge him for a P5 position. Trying to start this season off right with the top 5. We'll see what he can do. Rolling back through, through the last 30 seconds of this race, we're going to be seeing James Pierce. He crossed start-finish line now. That is not a white flag situation, Jay. They'll be going back around one more time. We'll be seeing what this Porsche can do and to hold on to this race win. 25 seconds from him to second place.
Yeah, as you see Pierce closing in on a car there, Mobley backs that thing down. He's got some great pace as this battle here is heating up. We're going to have 2 laps to go once we get to the line. This time by for these guys. Running out of time for Costello or Brad B. They've got to make something happen here quick if they're going to get by this 51 car of Cox, as they are all within a second and a half of each other battling here towards turn 1. What can they do to get past Cox for a P4 position? Here they go, setting up for turn 1.
Elliott Cox trying to hold on to this race. P4. Michael Costello in P5. Brian is there. He wants a piece of this action. We'll see what Elliott Cox can do to hold on to this position to try and complete this race in P4. Michael Costello, though, getting all up to him. He's trying to get to his rear bumper. We'll see what he can do. Last time by, he was 2/10 quicker. We'll see what he can do now going into turn 7. Still on the rear bumper of this car. And not going to be able to do anything now through turn 7. He is all over the rear bumper, though.
Yeah, he was using up a lot of curb there through 5 and 6. Set him up perfectly for 7. He is there now. Cox has a battle. Costello's on his bumper. This is going to get wild here through turns 10 up to turn 11. Setting up for 12. What does Costello have? He doesn't have anything for him. He's going to send it in on the bottom. He's just not close.
It's the final
enough.
lap. It's the checker flag right here. We're going to... Costello's going to have to do something to try and get this last position for P4. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to do it now. The 51 is defending. They're side by side. Not going to make it happen. Elliott Cox holds on to that P4 position.
And Brad B will come home 6th. Your race winner, James Pierce. Travis Smith brings her home P2. Kabani, P3, your podium for tonight. What a drive by those 3 drivers.
We got a battle right here now going through the final corners. This is Cameron Capone and Dallas Seward. They're side by side now. Coming off the final corner, Dallas Seward on the outside in the blue Porsche. And you've got Cameron Capone in the white Porsche on the inside. And he doesn't make it happen. Dallas Seward holds on to P10. Your winner tonight, James Pierce, in that number 1 Porsche car. Travis Smith, P2, and Zohar Kabani bringing up P3 in a great run that he had tonight, getting back to the podium finish. Congratulations to these drivers. Jay, let's go ahead and bring up these drivers here for some post-race interviews. Zohar, this is Thomas and Jay in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Zohar, what a great race you ran today. I mean, within the first couple of laps, you get a little bit of contact there. You go all the way back to, I think it was 8th place. And then you find yourself working your way throughout the whole race to get back up to P3. Tell us a little bit what your race was like after that contact.
I think it was, at that point, I knew that I just need to keep my car straight and just keep my pace. And I constantly kept an eye on my pace. And as long as I was doing that, I was able to take advantage of that, watching the other drivers in front of me for a couple of laps. And then I knew where to, like, really go fast and be able to pass those drivers. So that was a very much, like, big key for me, that, you know, just to drive consistently and keep my pace and find those opportunities where I can take over for the next car.
Absolutely. You put it on display tonight. You definitely had a piece with a lot of speed. The lone Mercedes out there in this field coming out here and putting a spanking on all those BMWs and Ferraris. Unfortunately, with a little bit of shenanigans that happened there, you really weren't able to put on the show that you probably quite wanted to. But nonetheless, coming out with a P3, that's what I got for me. Jay, you got anything for Zahar?
Yeah, congratulations on your podium in the season opener here in the Formula Touring Series. Who do you have to thank for your performance here tonight?
I think the biggest competitive that I always Travis Smith is always being my competitor, so it's always nice to like perform with him and get better with him. Greg is another big one that I always look up to see like what they're doing, and follow them and be as consistent but aggressive at the same time. So they really motivate me to be better.
Awesome, good stuff there. Always great to have some people around you to try to make yourself better. So congratulations on your P3 finish for tonight again, and we hope to see you in the next one, Zahar.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. That was your P3 finisher for tonight in the 902 Mercedes car. Doing a great job. and the strategy that he had, and not only being the lone Mercedes out there, but the raw speed that he had to get that car back up to P3. What an amazing run. Right here in second place, we've got Travis Smith. We'll go ahead and bring him up for an interview. Travis, this is Thomas and Jay in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, Travis, what a run you had tonight. Look, you took advantage of some situations that really just propelled you to be in a prime position to get those positions back and ultimately end P2. A little bit of strategy there helping you out as well over the other drivers like Elliott Cox and Michael Costello. But on top of that, you just had some raw speed and that talent that you displayed tonight really just made this 69 car go up to P2. But talk to us a little bit about your race, the lap 1 shenanigans that we saw. I mean, I was almost out of breath trying to comment on what was happening, but I'm sure it was just a completely different story from the cockpit of that 69.
Lap 1 was wild. Chasing these guys, my strategy going in was just to try and keep pace, and this track's real bad about burning tires up, so just try to keep pace without pushing the car too hard, braking a little earlier on every corner, so that way I could have pace a little bit later on. So lap 1 I just tried to maintain. There was a lot of early overtakes that were super aggressive, and I was just trying to not get sent into the grass on any of that, so just trying to maintain on lap 1 and then went to work after that.
Absolutely. Well, you did go to work, and you worked very hard. A very admirable run you had tonight. We even had Kim Smith in the chat pushing for you. So a lot of people out there rooting for you. That's what I got for Travis here, Jay. What do you got for him?
Yeah, just a phenomenal run you did tonight. The perseverance and then the strategy. I mean, like Tom said, you were in that battle with the Costello and Cox early on, and then you just had him by a good gap there at the end. Who do you have to thank for your awesome performance here tonight in the season opener?
My wife, cheering me on, making sure I was just in a good mood, ready to go and ready to fight and do battle. And yeah, happy with the results and just thankful things worked out in my favor.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations again from here at Dega Boys, and we hope to see you in the next one, Travis.
Absolutely, guys. I'll be there. Thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely. All right, that was Travis Smith. What a great run he had tonight, really. I mean, coming out, qualified P4, getting ahead of those other BMWs, that mess that was going on at the beginning of this race, and then finishing strong in P2 with a little bit of strategy, but a lot of racing talent.
Yeah, it was a phenomenal job by Travis Smith tonight. Definitely a world-class drive on iRacing for sure.
All right, we're going to be bringing up our race winner tonight of James Pierce in that #1 Porsche. James Pierce, this is Thomas and Jay in the booth. You got a copy?
Hello.
James, what an absolute schooling you put on today. I mean, I just felt like I paid for a lesson to go back to college or something. What? You found something nobody else did.
Yeah, I felt good, consistent with it. Kind of came in with some zero expectations of it, and kind of tried to write. Oh, Jesus, English. Tried to race my own race. Yeah, water loss is gonna kill you. But no, yeah, kind of just came in with race my own race and kind of get into my rhythm and make sure I didn't disrupt it with anything else. And kind of separate myself in terms of the mental side of it, and just kind of pushed on with it. And then some of the, had some, about 2 weeks ago, had our little race here with one of the preseason races for this league here, and got kind of set up some practice for it. But had nothing in between since then, so I was kind of expecting anything, but kind of glad what came of and what came away with. So.
Absolutely. At the beginning of this race, we saw that you put down just an absolute flyer for qualifying. But what was your mentality going towards the green flag on lap 1 and turn 1? What was your strategy on getting through that corner and not letting anybody take advantage of you?
Definitely on the start, I tried to back it up as much as I could, try and give them as much pressure on the midfield to high midfield, to at least give my competitors behind at least a challenge, or not a free look up into T1. And then obviously kind of went purposely deep a little bit to make sure I covered myself on that one. So anything that happened, I had a little escape path. 'Cause you never want to be cut on the inside. So just kind of that, and then just settled in after T1. It was kind of like visor down, kind of. Ignore the mirror, turn off the virtual, and just head forward and never look back, which typically works when people try to pull the mind games from behind and kind of pull some fake moves in it. So as long as you can keep focused to keep ahead, it's kind of the goal for me. It's just to make sure that I'm always looking forward and not behind, and I tend to keep the pace with me.
So just also about halfway through that race, we saw a little bit of contact between you and another car going into turn 1. How much did that affect your car now throughout the rest of the race?
Surprisingly, it didn't. No real effect. I had no visual damage either, which was kind of weird. I'll take that. Kind of a blessing in disguise on that one. Bless the iRacing netcode. How it may be. Almost as bad as Rainbow today, it seemed. But no. No, I was kind of glad I came away with that no injury to that one. I felt bad for Greg. He was pretty upset with himself. But no, I'll make sure that no damage, no done. So we're all good. There's no harm, no foul. So we're all Gucci with that one, and I'll get him to feel a little bit better about that one, because I've done it before. We've all done it.
Absolutely, that is a big truth right there. But that's all I got for James here. Jay, what do you have for James?
Yeah, just an awesome drive. I mean, you showed it from the beginning of practice all the way through qualifying. You managed the race well. The strategy was perfect. Who do you have to thank for your awesome performance here in the season opener?
Definitely think the guys I was racing with, I was kind of in with the Limitless guys. So Travis Smith and Kabani were in the chat, as well as Shal and Hunter. So all of them were I got to thank for being in the back with me. They're chill. Love to race with them every time. And thank the league and you guys as well. You guys do a great job. I was watching the broadcast during the race, and it was very entertaining. That midfield battle was great to hear commentated and raced in. Almost found the wall once, just keeping my eyes on it. So maybe I'll turn it off next time. But no, it was really good to watch, and we appreciate you guys coming out and putting on a good show for all of us, and making sure that it's represented well. And you guys do a great job with that. And then thank obviously Twisted. I don't know what our team's going to be doing in the next couple months, but I want to thank them for their continued support. These past 4 or 5 years have been great racing with them, and I really appreciate their family that they kind of brought me into back way long ago, when I had had the highest pitch voice and the least skill in that team. So we moved on up, and I'm really happy to still be with them, and really hoping that good things come from that team as well. And wishing thanks to Harry Wills, who's kind of like the dad as the owner for me.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for those kind words. Again, congratulations on your win tonight, starting the season off right here in the Formula Touring Series Season 1 with the Nexus Racing League. So congratulations again, James, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you, brother. Have a good one.
You too. All right, Jay, what a fantastic race that we saw tonight. These guys putting it all out on the line, and just really, I mean, what do you got to say about it? I mean, this was a fantastic 45-minute race here at Indy Road.
Yeah, what a race. We saw James Pierce put this thing on pole, really kind of just take control of this race from the start of the green flag, checks out on the field, But as he mentioned, the midfield battles tonight were insane. We had contact, we had cars going up and out of the track, multiple side-by-side battles, crossover moves, a little bit of contact, door side banging. It was some wild racing back here. And then strategy played out at the end of this race. We saw Travis Smith and Kabani, after some of their issues, were able to leap guys like Cox, Brad B, and Costello there towards the end of this race to take advantage for the podium. And then just phenomenal racing through the even further back in the pack, as we saw Dallas Seward in a side-by-side battle across the line. Just phenomenal racing. One of the best road courses. Indianapolis road course puts on a phenomenal show. These guys used all of the track to their advantage. Strategy played out, but at the end of the day, James Pierce managed it well. Fastest car on track from the beginning of practice all the way through the end of the race. Gets the job done here in the season opener here. Best iRacers in the business, as always, in the Nexus Sim Racing Leagues.
Absolutely. It doesn't matter if we're oval racing, if we're short track, super speedway, or medium length, or if we're road racing. It doesn't matter. Nexus Sim Racing brings out the best guys in the business and gets the job done with the best content on YouTube. Check us out. Again, congratulations to James Pierce on his race win tonight. A great job of schooling that he put on, and the competition just has to be ready for next week. Now, let's go ahead and try to pull up a little bit of maybe some points. Here we are. So, disregard the 0 points on the right side. It starts with 25 points and decreases by 1 as you go down. James Pierce now leading the points in the first race of this series. James Pierce with the 25 points. Travis Smith 24. Zohar Kabani 23. These are your top 3 finishers. We just got done interviewing them. Congratulations again to those 3 drivers, but also congratulations to everybody who came out here and ran this race. Did a great job putting on some great shows, some great content for us to broadcast to YouTube. Congratulations. We'll be coming right back with this series next Sunday. These guys will be right back with you. In fact, we'll have more. We will have more drivers coming out to hang out with us next week. That will conclude our racing here tonight at Indy Road with the GT3 cars in the Formula Touring season of the Nexus Sim Racing Leagues. A great race again that we saw. Congratulations again to James Pierce. Guys, make sure you guys go ahead and check out our channel on YouTube, Dega Boys. We do broadcasts, podcasts, videos. Jay puts a lot of time in to all the videos that we put on our channel. Make sure you guys check out our associated links too. We got Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. Make sure you guys go check out that too. Give us a little bit of a follow there. That would help us out a lot. Also, go check out our featured channels too. We got a featured channel there, King of Camo. If you guys like looking at some custom firearms, anything from mild to wild, they got what you like. So go ahead and check out what they got over there. Give them a follow and tell them you came from Dega Boys. We appreciate everybody who came out here tonight, who commented, liked, and subscribed to this race. We appreciate everybody who came out, and we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. This is Thomas and Jay in the booth, and we will see ya in the next one.